Artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics are topics that are dominating today's business news cycles. How are students in today's MBA programs staying one step ahead of these rapidly evolving technologies? Today I'm here with Professor of Practice Tim Laseter, who teaches in our Technology and Operations Management area at the Darden School. How are you doing today, Tim?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So you teach a course that's an elective called Digital Operations. Part of this course is students present technical notes, and then you also have case studies and guest presenters that participate. Tell us a little bit about the technical notes that you have that students present on.
Great. We have a series, I think it's 7 different tech notes that we've written. We're adding to it as we go along because this is a new course we've developed. We're also have a set of cases that we keep adding into this, but some of them we will also transfer out into our core operations course over time as we embrace that. But the tech notes cover everything from artificial intelligence to data centers, cloud computing, enterprise resource planning, augmented reality, virtual reality, and we actually do sessions where we're playing with those tools. We actually have Oculus headsets and Vision Pro and Meta glasses that part of the student experience is working with those and playing with those as well. The cases cover a wide range with a lot of themes of kind of some sense classic operations issues, but within a more current context.
One of the things I really like that you're doing is you're writing cases in this elective that second year students can be exposed to that are then going to be used in the first year core curriculum next
Absolutely.
year. So you're catching both sets of students at the same time. So your GoFundMe case and your Rivian case?
Yeah. So the Rivian case is one that's classically queuing, but in a completely different context of how do you build data? Where should Rivian build their charging stations for the Rivian network that they were going to build across they have built across the Blue Ridge Parkway? And whether you should do 4 charging stations, should you do fast charging, slow charging? So you get to learn all the issues about the impact of queuing and waiting times, but in a context of a new real world problem about how we're going to charge and fuel our vehicles. Mm-hmm. That's very different from the way we do it today.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about the GoFundMe case.
So GoFundMe is a case, again, another one of our alumni, Arnie Katz, who is now the Chief of Technology and Product Officer of GoFundMe. And when he arrived, they weren't using AI in the application at all. And he asked why not, and pushed that they started doing it. If you think about GoFundMe, there are people sitting in a parking lot, they're trying to raise money because their child has cancer, and they're not good at writing stories and how you do things. And it's a hugely painful process, multiple steps, and it's slow, and there's fallout in the process. And how do you think about that and redesign a process to leverage what AI tools are able to do?
Excellent. So some of the cases that you've written specifically for this course that are a little bit more advanced, you have a ShiftSmart case. Tell us a little bit about.
ShiftSmart is a gig company, but it's one that actually has an operational focus. They're measured by their clients, which are big businesses, about how they deliver the service, whether it's call centers or stocking shelves for a convenience store. This case is about a convenience store model, and again, it has some queuing elements to it and process flow. How do you staff the store to make sure that we're getting people out of the store quickly? And that's a job. Certain jobs can only be done by full-time employees. Some things can be done by gig workers, cleaning bathrooms and filling shelves. How do you actually think about the mix and to give greater service for the customers and actually make money for the client, not just a labor arbitrage?
Right. And then shifting gears a little bit, you have a case on wearable robotics. This is a really interesting case on Verve Motion.
Yeah, I met these people, actually it was a supermarket conference out in the West Coast, and they were demoing and started talking to them, and we brought in to develop a case around it. It's a wearable robotic backpack that weighs about 7.5 pounds, and the straps you put on your legs, and it helps you lifting process for people working in manufacturing and distribution. The example I like to point out is there are people that spend full shifts, 8 hours a day, lifting 30 to 40,000 pounds. That's their job. This reduces the load on them by 30 to 40%. It changes their lives where they're not going home exhausted to their families. And it's a big, interesting business proposition value, but also really important for your employees and staff.
So Tim, I know that you pose this question to your students, and I'm going to put you on the spot now. Where do you currently see the line between hype or reality in artificial intelligence and robotics?
It's a good question. I like to say I'm a technology skeptic in the near term, but a big believer in the long term, because the hype cycle, I've experienced it multiple times through my life. We are probably beyond the peak, and we need to get to the plateau of productivity because it's been overhyped a bit. But this is a dramatic change. It's a fundamental way that's going to change business, and we need to prepare our students for it.
Tim, thank you for taking some time today to share with us these new cases that are being developed in your course elective that are making their way into the core operations course at Darden. If you'd like to learn more about Professor Laseter's cases or download his teaching notes to his cases, please visit us today at Darden Business Publishing.